Now come to the next topic in journal entry, goods and service tax, GST, goods and service tax, one nation one tax system, one nation one tax system. This GST, under this GST, all the indirect taxes are merged into one tax. All indirect taxes are merged into one tax, that is our GST. So, goods and service tax, GST, one nation, one tax, one nation, one tax. All over the country, in every state, in territory, Indian territory, one tax is there. There is no discrimination in the tax that to that state the tax is different and to this state the tax is different. For the tax is all same for all state. Tax is same, tax rate is same for all states and union territory. So it's an indirect tax. GST, goods and service tax, is an indirect tax. Okay. GST Act was passed in the Parliament. GST Act, GST Act was passed in the Parliament on 24th March 2017. In this date, 24th March 2017, GST Act was passed in the Parliament and came into effect from 1st July in the same year 2017. Came into effect on 1st July 2017. The name of the act is Central Goods and Service Act 2017. Central Goods and Service Act 2017. The Constitution 101st Amendment, 101st Amendment Act 2016 introduced national GST in India, introduced the national GST in India from 1st July 2017. On this date, 1st July 2017. So the Constitution 101st Amendment Act 2016 introduced national GST in India from 1st July 2017 and it replaced all indirect tax. It replaces all indirect tax are replaced and one tax come into existence, GST. Several indirect taxes are removed, replaced and one tax come in form of GST levied on goods and service, levied on goods and service by Indian central and state government. So the Constitution 101st Amendment Act 2016 introduced a national GST, goods and service tax, in India from 1st July 2017. It replaced all indirect taxes levied on goods and services by Indian central and state government, by Indian central and state government. It was introduced as 122nd. It was introduced 122nd Amendment Bill Act 2014 of the Constitution of India. It was introduced as 122nd Amendment Bill 2014 of the Constitution of India. This bill was passed from the Lok Sabha on 8th of August 2016. It was passed from the Lok Sabha on 8th August 2016 and from Rajya Sabha on 3rd July 2016 from Rajya Sabha. So from Lok Sabha this bill was passed on 8th August 2016 and from the Rajya Sabha this bill was passed on 3rd August 2016 in the same month, same year. GST Council is headed by Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman. Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, Ministry of Finance and Corporate Affairs. She is the head of the Union Ministry of Finance and Corporate Affairs. Mrs. Sitharaman, headed by or chaired by, and other members from the Union State members of the Revenue or Finance and Minister in charge or taxation of the all states. There are total 33 members in the GST Council. There are total 33 members in the GST Council. Sri Anurag Singh Thakur, who is the State Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, she is also in the member, second member from the top after the Sitharaman, Nirmala Sitharaman. Second one is Anurag Singh Thakur, State Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs. So their total number of members in GST Council is total member is 33. So one nation, one tax. This GST replace all other indirect taxes. All indirect taxes are replaced, are abolished, and one tax come in place of all indirect tax, that is our GST. One nation, one tax. It replaces all indirect taxes levied on goods and services. Now GST. Earlier the central level taxes and state level taxes. Central charge so many taxes and state charge so many taxes. Central taxes earlier were central level taxes, central excise duty, service tax, central sales tax, additional duties on excise, additional duties on customs, excise duties levied under Medicinal and Toilet Preparation Act, surcharges and cess. State level octroi and entry tax in all form, surcharges and cess, purchase tax, entertainment tax, state VAT and sales tax, luxury tax, tax on lottery, betting and gambling. So these taxes were imposed by the state. These taxes were imposed by the state, and these taxes were imposed by the central earlier, before GST. Now these two level taxes, state level tax and central level tax, is merged in one tax. They merged in one tax, that is your GST, merged in one tax. Merged in one tax system, that is your GST. Now there is only one tax come and replace these two tax, central level taxes and state level taxes. Various state level taxes and various central level taxes are replaced and merged in one tax system, and that tax is goods and service tax, GST. One nation, one tax. all over the country same rate will be applicable. So instead of various taxes of state and various taxes of central, now these two different taxes are abolished and replaced with one tax system, that is the GST, goods and service tax system, is now come into existence from 2017. So these two taxes are merged in one, and this one is goods and GST merged in GST. Okay, these two taxes now merge in GST, goods and service tax. So one nation, one tax, one nation, one tax. You can say that one nation, one tax system. One nation, one tax system. One nation, one tax system. That is our GST. So all these different taxes are replaced. All these central level taxes and state level taxes are replaced and merged into one tax system, that is our GST, goods and service tax, come into existence in 2017. Is it clear? One nation, one tax. And very important, GST is indirect taxes. These are also indirect taxes. So all these indirect taxes are merged into one GST, that is also a indirect tax. GST is also a indirect tax. It's an indirect tax. GST is indirect tax. One nation, one tax. One nation, one tax. Is it clear? One nation, one tax, and it's an indirect tax. All indirect taxes is merged into GST. So from 2017 onward, these all taxes are abolished, vanished, and merged into one tax, that is the GST. GST rate structure is divided into five level. Essential items, common use item, essential item, common use item, standard item, maximum goods and all service standard rate, and luxury items. So goods and services are divided into 5 slabs for the collection of GST. These 5 slabs is this: essential item, slab of essential item. If it is an essential item including food, 0 GST, no GST will be charged. Common use item, 5% GST, standard rate 12% GST, minimum goods and all service standard rate 18%, and luxury item, goods and services of luxury nature will be at the rate of 24%. So they are the 5 slabs of GST, and accordingly the GST is calculated: 5%, 12%, 18%, 24%, and in some goods it is 0%. So this is for the collection of GST on the basis of these 5 slabs. GST rate differ from one slab to another slab. Okay. Now we can do the comparison. Previously, when so many taxes were there, like excise duty, service tax, VAT, entertainment, octroi duty, so many taxes. Suppose I am comparing the two taxes, GST and the previous tax system. Under the previous tax system, if the cost of goods is 100, cost is 100 under the previous tax system, and these taxes were imposed on these goods. In these goods, these taxes were imposed: excise duty, service tax 1%, VAT 14.5%, CST 2%, entry tax 2%. The total tax is 32%. It means the goods is, after adding 32, the total cost, total value of the goods will be 132. This will be available at 132 for consumer. Okay, 100 is the cost plus 32 is your taxes, indirect taxes. Now when the GST is replaced, all these indirect taxes is replaced and GST come, then one tax. This is the cost is 100 and GST is, suppose it's a luxury goods. So GST is 28%. So now that when you add the 28%, the cost will be the 128. These goods will be available at 128. So earlier it was 132. You get these goods at 132. Now you will get it at 128. It means 4% you can save. 4% saving. 4% saving under GST. 4% saving under the GST. 100 plus 32, all indirect taxes. So it comes to 132. 100 plus GST 28% if it is a luxury, then 128. So now you will pay 4% less than the previous tax system. When the GST come, then you will pay 4% less. So GST is in favor of the country, favor of the nations, for ease of doing business, for economic growth, for FDI, for any reasons. To understand it, the complexity of the previous tax system, now it is easy to understand and easy to filing even. You file one GST, so it is easy. No need to go for the separate tax system. You go file one GSTN, take the GSTN number and file it. Okay. Now come to the GST paid. GST is paid when we purchase the goods or availed services, then we will pay the GST. GST is paid when the goods are purchased or services are availed. This is called input GST. When we pay the GST, this GST is called input GST, and this is considered as an assets, not considered as a cost. Input GST is considered as an assets, is not considered as a cost of the goods. So GST is paid when purchase of goods and services. When we purchase the goods and services, avail the services, on that time we pay the GST. To whom? To the seller. We pay the GST to the seller. This GST is called input GST. When the purchaser do the payment of GST, that GST is called input GST. And this is an assets. Input GST is an assets. It is not considered as a cost of the goods. When we sold the goods, then we collect the GST. When the seller sold the goods, then the seller collect the GST from the customer or from the purchaser. Seller collect it. This GST is called output GST. When the seller collect this GST, then it is called output GST. So GST is collected on sale of goods and services. and this GST is called output GST. Output GST is a liability. Output GST is not an expense, it is not an income, but it's the liability for the seller. Input GST will be adjusted with the output GST. Output GST, input GST will be adjusted with the output GST. Input GST will be adjusted with the output GST. This will be adjusted. Suppose our output GST is 1 lakh, means we have received GST on the sale of goods and services. When we receive the GST from the customer, this is called output GST 1 lakh. And at the time of purchase of goods, we have paid the GST. Suppose we have paid the GST 90,000, that is input GST is 90. So this rest 10,000 will be deposited in the government treasury. This will be given to the government treasury. So 10,000 will be deposited in the government treasury. Okay, the difference amount will be deposited. Input GST will be adjusted with the output GST, and thereafter the rest amount, if any excess amount, will be deposited into the government treasury. So when we sell the goods, then when we get the GST from the customer, that GST is called output GST. And when we purchase the when we purchase the goods, then on that time what the GST we pay to the seller, that GST is called input GST. That GST is called input GST. Input GST is adjusted with the output GST, and the excess amount over the input GST, when the output GST is more than the input GST, then the excess amount will be deposited in the government treasury. ठीक है? Is it clear? So GST is paid when we purchase the goods and services, and when the GST is paid here, then we will call that GST as input GST, and this is considered as an assets. And when we sold the goods, then we collect the GST, and when we collect the GST, that GST is called output GST. Output GST. So input GST and output GST. Output GST is not an income, it's a liability, and input GST will be adjusted with the output GST. Suppose output GST is 1 lakh, as I explained here, output GST is 1 lakh, means we have collected 1 lakh and we have paid 90,000, and input GST is 90 and collected GST is 1 lakh, output GST. So difference is 10,000 will be deposited into the government treasury. Okay, so difference will be deposited. GST one is central GST and state GST. Suppose GST is 12%, then 6% will be given to the central and 6% GST will be taken by the state. This is a division. Suppose GST rate is 12%. So this 12%, suppose the goods is sold for rupees 1 lakh and GST rate is 12%, so 12,000 is the GST, 12,000 is the GST at the rate of 12%. So this 12,000 will be divided 6% to the central government, will be given to the central government, will take this amount, and 6,000 the state government will take this amount. 6% to the central government, 6% to the state government. This is a division of GST. Suppose it is 24%, then 12% to the central and 12% to the state. So if it is 24, then here it will be 24,000, 24%, okay, 1,24,000. So this 24 GST will be divided, shared by both government, state and central, 12% and 12%. This 12% and 12%. 24% will be shared, 12% will be given to the central and 12% will be given to the state. This amount will be transferred to the central and state. Suppose GST is 6%, 5% GST is over here, 5% GST, then 2.5 here and 2.5 here. So if it is 5% GST, it means it's a 5,000. So 2,500 here and 2,500 to the state GST. Okay, to the state GST. Suppose it is 18%, GST is 18%, rate of GST is 18%, then 9% to the central and 9% to the state. And it is 9%, 18%, then it 18,000. It means it is a 1,18,000, 18%. Okay, so 9,000 here to the central and 9,000 to the state. So GST, central GST and state GST, central and state GST. Central and state GST, when it is a central GST, in short we will write central GST, we will write like this: CGST, central GST, and state GST S, I will take this later, SGST, this one. Here central C and GST, CGST and SGST. CGST means central GST and SGST means state GST. Is it clear? Central GST and state GST. One more GST, IGST. IGST. IGST means integrated GST. Integrated GST. Integrated GST. Integrated GST. Is it clear? Integrated GST. So GST, one is central GST, state GST. These two GST, when the transaction is within the state, when the transaction is within the state, then the central GST and state GST, when the transactions purchase and sale is within state, within the state, within state, within state, one inside the state. Okay, when it is inside the state, within the same state, within the same state, you can say within the same state. You may say it is intra-state, intra-state, state or intra-state. Okay, then central GST and state GST, CGST and SGST. And when it is interstate, purchase and sale is interstate, one state to another state. Suppose UP to West Bengal, interstate, one state to another state. When the goods are purchased and sold one state to another state, then integrated GST will come, integrated GST. And when the goods are purchased and sold within the same state, that is called intra-state, then CGST and SGST. Okay, CGST and SGST, and the GST will be divided into these two. And when it is a integrated GST, the goods are sold outside the state, one state to another state, then IGST, integrated GST, IGST, and this will be given to the central government, and thereafter central government will divide it between the state and central as per the prescribed norms. That amount will be divided. But here if the GST is suppose 18% and it is within the state, then 9% to the CGST, central GST, and 9% to the state GST. But if it is IGST, then this will be given to the central government, and thereafter central government will divide that amount between the state and central depending upon the prescribed norms, as per the prescribed rules or prescribed norms. So it may be it is what is state GST, or if it is in place of state, if it is a union territory, okay, if it is a union territory, then this will be UTGST, union territory. If it is a state, within the state, then the state GST, or it may be within the union territory, then that GST is called UTGST, which is within the union territory of that union territory, specific union territory. Goods are purchased and sold to that union territory, specific union territory, okay, Jammu and Kashmir, like that. Then that GST is called UTGST. Okay, so CGST for central GST, SGST means state GST, UTGST means union territory GST, and IGST means integrated GST. It is for interstate transaction, interstate purchase and sale. When the goods are sold, UP goods are sold, one seller of the UP or manufacturer of the UP sold goods to the other state, suppose Madhya Pradesh, MP, or Rajasthan, or West Bengal, then it is interstate business. And when it is a interstate transaction, purchase and sale, then integrated GST will come, IGST will come. We'll see the IGST, and this rate will be given to the central government directly, and the central government divide this amount between the state and the central as per the prescribed norms. Is it clear? So once again, GST is paid when we purchase the goods, that is called input GST, that is an assets. and GST is collected when we sold the goods and services. Then GST is collected, that GST is called output GST, input GST and output GST. Okay, and output GST is considered as a liability. Output GST amount, from that output GST amount we will settle the input GST amount. So input GST will be settled through the output GST, and thereafter excess amount of output GST will be deposited into the government treasury.